Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Undodin Favor. If you're a new subscriber or you're joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for your support. In today's video, we're going to be discussing vaginal yeast infection. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about vaginal yeast infection. What is the vaginal yeast infection? Signs and symptoms of vaginal yeast infection, the treatment of vaginal yeast infection, the prevention for vaginal yeast infection, vaginal yeast infection versus bacterial vaginosis. A vaginal yeast infection is also known as candidiasis. It's a common condition in women. A healthy vagina contains bacteria and some yeast cells, but when these bacteria and these yeast cells are not healthy, when the balance in the vagina changes and the bacteria multiply, it can cause itching, redness, rashes, and those uncomfortable irritation. Vaginal yeast infection is common in women, but yes, it's possible for a man to get yeast infection. When a man gets a yeast infection, it is known as vaginal yeast infection. It can be gotten from unprotected sex. Having unprotected sex with a lady who has yeast infection. Somebody have candida. It's not just only in the female body, but when there is an overgrowth in this candida, it can lead to yeast infection. Yeast infection, candida is a microorganism in the body. When there is an imbalance in the microorganism, it will lead to yeast infection. The yeast candida is a natural occurring microorganism in the vagina area. Lactobacillus bacteria keeps its growth in check, but if there is an imbalance in your system, these bacteria won't work effectively. This could lead to an overgrowth of yeast, which causes the symptoms of vaginal yeast infection. So there are several factors that could cause a yeast infection, including antibiotics, which decreases the amount of lactobacillus. Lactobacillus is a good bacteria in the vagina. Pregnancy is another factor that can lead to yeast infection. Uncontrolled diabetes could lead to yeast infection. Weak immune system, hormonal imbalance. Now, when you're close to your menstrual cycle, most women get a hormonal imbalance. We have a hormonal imbalance, and during the period of your menstrual cycle, close to your menstrual cycle, or during the period of your menstrual cycle, there's every possibility that you might get a yeast infection. Now, that is why it is very important for ladies to take care of ourselves during our menstrual cycle. Now, that period of time, you're not meant to wear a pad for more than 3 to 4 hours. More than 3 to 4 hours. Now, stress is another thing that could lead to vaginal yeast infection. Now, there are several symptoms of vaginal yeast infection, and if as a lady you notice any of these symptoms, then you should get an immediate treatment. Visit your doctor or a pharmacist. One of the symptoms is a vaginal itching. Now, when your vagina begins to itch you unnecessarily, like you get this uncomfortable and you get irritations, then you should get an immediate treatment. Burning during urination or sex, pains during sex, redness in your vagina, vaginal rash, or swelling around the vagina. When you get any of these symptoms, then you need to get an immediate treatment. Now, vaginal infection treatment. Each yeast infection is different, so your doctor might suggest a different treatment that is best for you. So treatments are generally determined based on the severity of your symptoms. Now, for simple infection, your doctor will usually prescribe a 1 to 6 days regimen of an antifungal cream or tablet. If you have a simple yeast infection, you follow up with your doctor or your pharmacist to make sure that the medicine has worked. You can schedule a follow-up visit if your symptoms return within 2 months.
For complicated infection, your doctor will more than likely treat your infection as if it were a severe or complicated case. If you have a severe redness, swelling and itching that leads to sore or tears in your vaginal tissue. If you have more than 4 yeast infection in a year, your doctor might treat your infection as a very severe one. If you're pregnant, if you have an uncontrolled diabetes or a weak immune system, or maybe you have HIV, yeah, your doctor might treat your vaginal yeast infection as serious and severe. Yeast infection can be very frustrating. Yeah, it can be very frustrating. If not well treated, it keeps reoccurring. So it is very important that you treat your yeast infection once it is noticed. This far, if you watch this video this far, I want to appreciate you. I want to say a very big thank you for staying tuned. Okay, so there will be a second part of this video where I'll be talking about the possible treatment for yeast infection, prevention of yeast infection versus bacterial vaginosis. Yeah, so many people don't really know the difference between vaginal yeast infection and bacterial vaginosis. So in the second part of this video, I'm going to be explaining, and also the food you need to eat to keep to prevent yeast infection, foods that are healthy for your food that are healthy and good for your vaginal health. Thank you for watching.